Frank. Shabbat Shalom. Greetings to you all. Hope you all had great freedom festivals and Seder's and honored the loved and the lost in your families and in your lives. For many, the ability to go back to a show we've posted and observe a sacred occasion anytime has meant a lot to people. And we will certainly continue to try and meet the wants and needs of all who express them. Now, I cannot believe that I misquoted an immortal Beatles song, but I did. And I even had the words written out in front of me correctly, and I still managed to reverse them. It must be my dyslexia acting up, but it's a reminder not to rush. Now, sometimes I do change words in order to suit what we're talking about, but this time it was simply a mistake. You know, I have been extremely busy with a myriad of projects and weddings and services, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse. And I certainly hope, Natalia, that your wedding goes as beautifully as I imagine it will. I am so sorry that I cannot be there, but my blessing will ring on for you. Now, it's been a long, hard month, and it's been a pretty cool spring so far. In fact, a lot of people wondered if spring was actually ever going to come. But I certainly hope that Brett had a fantastic birthday and has an awesome time with Ellen in Sedona, a magical and mystical land of spirit, of energy. There are places you go where the earth screams out to you. Places that man has always been drawn to, places where some of the greatest edifices and developments of man took place. Great cathedrals of Europe, which I love to visit, all built on sacred centers, sacred lands. The fantastic heads on Easter Island, one of the strangest things I've ever seen. Machu Picchu, the city in the sky, and still one of my most memorable and one of my favorite trips, the Great Glastonbury Tour, King Arthur's Avalon, Stonehenge, and the great ley lines of England, the pyramids of Giza, which I am thankful to have been in on more than one occasion, although I'm not so sure that it's as easy to get to these days. Of course, the Rock Under the Dome in Jerusalem, which was a fantastic spot, and probably, I think, the most amazing vortex of all. And in the southwest USA, of course, Sedona. Now, what a wonderful place to go and celebrate the ending of a significant part of life and the beginning of a new phase. I've not been there in many years. One of my great native teachers who taught me the art of the soul journey lives there. And you cannot help but have a great time. And some of what you learn will not be evident until the time comes. Roll up. Roll up for the mystery tour. Roll up. Roll up for the mystery tour. And that's an invitation. Roll up for the mystery tour. To make a reservation. Roll up for the mystery tour. And I'm sure that you will enjoy your magical mystery tour. I know it'll be a very important one for you, and I think you're going to get a lot out of it. And I have to share with you all that I recently saw a fantastic soul map that a student of mine sent to me. It's a map of the individual's soul, its personality, its wants and needs, its fears. It's a true picture of the individual soul in the direction that it's going, and I'm sure that when he's finished with its design, because he's still working on it, he'll share it with you all, and you all can begin to map out your own destinies. Well, friends, it's been several weeks since our last regular Torah section, and they were not the most enthralling, although each, in their own right, have something amazing to say. This week, two very powerful items are briefly mentioned. The first is the tabernacle ceremony for the Day of Atonement, the day which will become the most holy day in the calendar. The other is the crucial law of not eating blood, because it contains the essence of life. We've just seen the incineration of Aaron's two sons on the first day of the priesthood. Now it is acharei mot, after the death. So God tells Moses to tell Aaron, forget it, move on, and instructs Moses about these two crucial rules. So let's take a quick look at these. Now, the first describes one of the strangest sacrificial rituals in the Bible, Leviticus 16:7. And he shall take the two goats and set them before the Lord at the entrance to the tent of meeting. And he shall put lots on the two goats, one for the Lord and one for Azazel. And Aaron shall bring forward the goat for which the lot for the Lord comes up, and he shall make it an offense offering. And the goat for which the lot for Azazel comes up shall be set live before the Lord to atone upon it, to send it off to Azazel in the wilderness. Now, we discussed how an offense offering was just another, perhaps more appropriate term in many instances for sin offering. Now, we've a pretty good picture painted here. Well, we've learned a lot about lots. Pur. Well, we learned about Purim just a few weeks ago, a day of lot casting. And now we know why Yom, the day, Kippur, of lots, is the day of lots. Aaron casts lots on the two goats, one for God and one for Azazel. Now, we have no idea who or what Azazel is, but this is the key to the ritual of atonement for the people and to expiate their sins. And he shall atone over the sacred zone for the uncleanness of the Israelites and for their sins according to their offenses. Well, how does he do this? Well, sure enough, Leviticus 16:21 tells us, Aaron shall lay his two hands on the head of the live goat and confess over it all the transgressions of the Israelites and all their sins according to all their offenses. And he shall put them on the head of the goat and send it off in the hand of a man for the hour to the wilderness. And the goat shall bear upon it all their transgressions to a remote region. And he shall send off the goat to the wilderness. The sins of the people transferred to the goat. It is the scapegoat. And it's an amazing ritual, and one that is reenacted by Chabad annually at Kippurat, the day before Yom Kippur. And the prayer of transference and expiation is something incredible to hear. And we'll talk much more about it when we examine Yom Kippur later in the year. But you can picture it. Two lots. On one is the word Ladonai, for God. And on the other, Lazazel, for Azazel. Which will come up on which? The transgressions of the people, physically carried away by the goat. Now, Azazel's not represented as a competing deity per se, although he may very well be. We really don't know. Rivaling he who causes being. But the ritual depends upon a polarity being created between God, who represents the pale of human civilization, and Azazel, representing the remote wilderness, the realm of disorder and raw formlessness. During the year, the accumulated sins and transgressions, physical pathologies and oversights of the Israelites have built up a kind of smog of pollution. And that smog threatens the sanctity of the tent of meeting and the Holy of Holies within it. Now, by implication for later times, of course, it affects the sanctity of the temple. Now, this elaborate rite of purgation scrubs everything clean of impurity, making the sacred zone viable for another year. And it shall be a perpetual statute for you. In the 7th month, on the 10th of the month, you shall degrade yourselves. And no task shall you do, the native and the alien who sojourns in your midst. For on this day it will be atoned for you. To cleanse you of all your offenses before the Lord you shall be cleansed. It is a Sabbath of Sabbaths for you. You shall afflict yourselves an eternal law. Now, we'll talk about it more later, like I said. But degrade and afflict, that's the same term used to describe the Egyptian treatment of the Israelites. And it's applicable to everyone, citizen and alien alike. And it has got to be important when you're told it is the Sabbath of Sabbaths. That's even more powerful than the double secret probation from Animal House. And then in Leviticus 17:10, and every man of the house of Israel, and of the sojourner who sojourns in their midst, who consumes any blood, I shall set my face against the living person who consumes blood and cut him off. Anyone who consumes blood, whether Israelite or alien, will face the wrath of God. And we've seen what God can do. Just think back a short time to the plagues. That's fresh in people's memories. Because, my friends, The life of the flesh is in the blood. The energy of life flows through the blood. Now, this is the introduction of a crucial thing. It introduces the sacrosanct character of blood as the principal bearer and symbol of life. It's been hinted at before, but here it is formalized. The person who slaughters an animal without having the priest cast some of its blood on the legitimate altar of God is considered to have committed murder. Murder. See, the taking of life, even for consumption of food, is a grave act that must be balanced by an act of expiation. In Leviticus, God forbids the slaughter of animals outside of a formal ritual setting. For Leviticus, there's no such occupation as a butcher. If one wants to eat meat, one must bring the animal to the priest, who sacrifices it in the prescribed manner at the altar, retains a portion of it for the sustenance of the priesthood, gives back the rest for consumption. And amid these amazing rules on atonement and blood, there is this unseen and unsaid shift that's about to take place in this book of laws. We are about to undergo a shift from ritual law to ethical law. Now, we may have wondered, why we can eat cows and not pigs, but we do not wonder why we should not steal, murder, lie, covet. We don't even ask about it. From this point on, the law includes diverse matters such as leaving portions of harvest for the poor, judging cases without bias towards either the rich or the poor, honoring the aged, fearing one's parents, not injuring the blind or deaf, not gossiping, not making one's daughter a prostitute, not committing adultery. This shift in law brings feelings of empathy with other human beings and attributes value to the lives of all of them. Something that neither the law nor religion had ever been concerned about before. It's really quite an incredible change. This is the Parsha of transformation, and it carries these two phenomenal pieces, both as simple matters of fact. The Day of Atonement and the consumption of blood, probably the two most underlying themes in Judaism: forgiveness, the sacredness of life. And both of these crucial things come after the death of Aaron's two sons, as if they should just carry on. After all, God told Moses to tell Aaron not to mourn them. Now, last week, we performed Yizkor, the public mourning, the public grieving ceremony. It's a wonderful ritual. When someone dies, the fabric of our lives has a tear in it. Most of us do not know how to deal with grief. Now, many years ago, after I'd become a certified grief counselor, I helped develop a grief support system that was designed to deal with all loss, not just death. And those groups continue, and we run several of them a year. We just began another one, which coincided with Yizkor, and people are very grateful for it. Now, we all suffer loss. We all grieve, and the effect of loss carries through our lifetimes. When someone we love dies, quite often, we think of the things we did not say, the things we did not do, which is one of the reasons I'm always reminding you to tell those you love that you love them. Aaron did not get to grieve his sons. We carry guilt. We carry remorse. We carry a huge weight. Boy, you're gonna carry that weight. Carry that weight a long time. Boy, you're gonna carry that weight. Carry that weight a long time. We carry the weight of so much on us when we lose someone. Aaron lost his two oldest sons, and not a word is said. In fact, he was told to ignore it. Do not carry that weight. We cannot ignore the pain of loss. We should not ignore the pain of loss. Honor those in your life who've had an impact. Celebrate their lives in honoring them. The world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light, and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women, equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, good healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive. Learn to love. Open your hearts and honor the relationships of your lives. Tell those you love that you love them. I'll tell you that all the time. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy that journey. We take the twists and turns in the pattern that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Send healing, goodwill, and love to all who need it. The time to celebrate freedom is now. The time to be reborn is now. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light and peace and healing, and honor the people in your life. It's really an important thing that you do. When you're sad and when you're lonely and you haven't got a friend, just remember that death is not the end. And all that you held sacred falls down and does not bend. Just remember that death is not the end. Not the end, no, no. Not the end, no, no. Just remember that death is not the end. And that was Bob Dylan's Death Is Not the End. It's a great song, and it's actually one he's never performed live. Death is not the end. It is a transition of space and time. It is a transformation of a soul. And 4 times a year, we honor those in the throes of transition. Thank you for joining me last week in honoring those in your lives. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep teaching, keep sharing, keep shining, keep spreading your holiness. Thank you all for joining me, and share the love, my friends. Shabbat Shalom. Take care. See you all next time. Bye.